I mean, I found out on, twitter.com, aka X, the everything app, which is generally where I get breaking news, that it was in question, that it may be happening, as I put in the Discord. There's, unsubstantiated rumors, it may be happening. And like most people knew what I meant by that, because we've been waiting for it to happen. Not that we're going to do anything about it, Secret Service. So just like chill out. But it was funny to see all the Republicans on Twitter being like, look at you assholes celebrating the death of someone. And it's like, guys, I don't know that you really have a leg to stand on there. I feel like the way you motherfuckers have been acting for the last, 8-9 months,
25 years,
forever. I don't know that you really get all high and mighty about us like celebrating about Trump dying. Also, allegedly. Also, when terrible people die, you're allowed to celebrate. Like, the dude is a piece of shit who's like fucking everything up for us. Like, we're allowed to be happy if he dies. But like, I'm just saying, until we get a press conference of him being his usual, unhinged, hilarious self, I'm not buying it. I want to see proof of life here. And
I want to see him
on.
holding like the front page of the failing New York Times.
Of the failing New York Times.
Yeah, he should do that. That would actually be pretty funny.
It would be funny. It would be. But and it's like, I try not to. I debated whether I should even post about it in the Discord, because I'm like, we don't really want to like spread misinformation. But I'm like, you know what? No, people deserve a little bit of hope. People deserve whimsy, and it's fun. When he had COVID, 5 years ago or whenever it was, that was like the greatest 24 hours in Twitter history. It was one of the greatest. We all really lost it, like, in a good way, and that was fun. And I just want to bring back fun.
Yeah.
So
do you remember when he looked into the eclipse? That was really good, dude.
Yes. I remember I tweeted like the fake news media wants you to believe you can't look directly into the sun, but that's fake news. You can stare directly into the eclipse.
I remember there were like people in the press corps like yelling at him, like, don't look at it. He's like smiling and pointing like, it's right there.
Staring directly into the sun. I'm sorry. He's funny. It's like, you think he's funny. Is he a terrible person? Yes. Is he destroying our country? Yes. Is he an authoritarian? Yes. He's objectively funny though. I can't, it's not my fault.
Welcome to the Denver Protest Podcast. It is Saturday, August 31st.
It's Sunday.
Labor Day weekend. Oh, fuck me, dude.
It's fine.
I fuck that up? You know what it is? It's the Labor Day weekend fucking me up because I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. I can't believe I actually said that.
Blame the workers. I love it.
That has worked for 5,000 years so far, so why stop now?
We agree. But
it's Sunday, August 31st, on Labor Day weekend, a beautiful Labor Day weekend here in Denver, Colorado. I will say so myself. I'm here with my co-host, Constant Gardner. No bug today. How are you doing, Constant Gardner?
I am doing well. I am also enjoying this Labor Day weekend and not ready for summer to be over. I'm trying to cling to it. I'm not one of these summer haters. I'm not a fall kind of bitch. I like the summer. So
I'm a huge fall bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I like the summer too, but I do love pumpkin spice lattes. I do love it not being scorching fucking hot all the time.
I like it being scorching hot, but I also like sitting in my air conditioning, So it's the duality.
Fair.
The duality. But yeah, it's good weekend so far. Yeah, and I actually, oh well, I guess we'll talk about it when it's time to talk about it. Is it time to talk
Yeah, we're talking about the week that was in protests
the week
because
that
you were,
was? Because
yeah.
I'm the gumshoe this week. Usually it's Bug. And I do not go to a lot of the protests for a variety of reasons. Namely that I am kind of old and my feet hurt and I'm tired. But so
Podcast chair is just so
my
comfortable.
podcast chair, right?
It's a
We do
great
need to actually
podcast chair.
debunk. We do need to debunk that myth out there. I've been accused of announcing things from quote the comfort of my podcast chair, and I just need people to know that my podcast chair is actually extremely uncomfortable. It's not. It's like it's one of those cute kind of like velvet stool things from Amazon that just doesn't have any padding and is terrible. And I really do need like an ergonomic, if somebody wants to like hook it up with like one of those Herman Miller chairs that are like
Oh fuck yeah,
$1,000.
dude!
I want one of those
That
so
would be a podcast
bad.
chair.
That
That's a
would I would
podcast
be
grown.
Yes, I would be, I would be in the podcasting from the comfort of my chair, literally. But for now, my podcast chair is uncomfortable and I need you guys to know that. Okay. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That's fake news. All right. But I did the gumshoe style reporting. I went to the Chicano moratorium protest. It started at 6. I rolled up at 6:30 as one does. They had a nice lineup of speakers. I missed a few of them, so apologies to those that I missed. It was a small but mighty crowd. I would say like 50 to 70 people probably at the peak. I will say the highlight, well, there was a couple highlights for me. One of them was the leftist band called Los Mocachetes. I thought everybody was just being dumb and white and that it was like the molcajetes, which is like that one of those really delicious like Mexican stone bowls that has like seafood in it. It's like a molcajete, but it's not. It's molcachetes. So I don't know if it's a play on that or what. But I had never heard them before. I think they've played some like benefits for Jeanette Vizquera, and they're around. They were great. I loved them. They made a joke that they were like, well, in true Chicano fashion, half of these motherfuckers didn't show up, so they only had 2 of like their 4 or 5 band members. But they still they were great. I really, really liked their music. I thought the lyrics were amazing leftist. There were a lot of Emiliano Zapata shout outs, which I love because that is one of my favorite leftists of all time. And it was some dancey kind of music. It's a white crowd, so we did our best. But so then we marched over from the Capitol to the federal courthouse over on like 19th and Stout or one of those. And it was led, I think, by FRSO. And so now we're going to get into I have some constructive criticism for people who do protests. I have notes. And I recognize that like organizing a protest is hard. I don't organize them. So like just like maybe I don't have any business doing this, but like I'm going to give my opinion because that's just like what I do. So I think a couple things. For the love of God, you guys, please, okay, don't have too many speakers. Don't have too many speakers in the middle of the protest. People's feet hurt. It's me. I'm people. But I noticed that like as we went on with the different speakers, people started dropping off and leaving the protest in the middle. And now I will say too, this was a small protest. 50 to 70 people is small. All protests are legit, and I think small protests are cool. I will say I don't love participating in them because it scares me. We've talked on here before about how, it's kind of always in the back of my mind that you could get run over by a car either accidentally or deliberately while you're out there, because I have almost been run over by a car at a protest. And when I'm in a bigger march, it just feels safer. I don't know if it actually is safer. I kind of think that it is. It feels like there's like safety in numbers. And when it's down to like 50 or 70 people, I just felt like very vulnerable out there. So that's just like, something to note. It makes me a little nervous. That's my hang up. But they did have quite a few marshals out there, corralling and protecting people. So like that was cool. Appreciated that effort. I will say too, all right. So like I would like to issue a challenge to communist and socialist organizations. And that is, if you're organizing a protest for something like the Chicano moratorium that is like not centered on white people, do we need to have like your cis white male speaker speaking at the Chicano moratorium, especially when we have like a lot of other speakers? I don't know that like, I think if you're going to do that, that person had better be like a really strong public speaker and better have like a really solid message, which I did not personally feel was the case, and no disrespect to that person. But I do think it's like, from what I've seen at protests, I would love to see people be a little bit more thoughtful about like who you're having speak, and why. And like, just because you're hosting the protest doesn't mean that you actually need to like say something, I guess. So that's a little hater take. The last speaker, when we were in the street, in the middle of the protest, was our very own Tim Hernandez. And of course, Tim Hernandez is the shit. He's, big in the Chicano movement. He's born and raised here in Denver, and an amazing leftist, and also a fantastic public speaker. So that's the other thing, is like, public speaking, not everybody's great at it. And that's okay. And I don't think you have to be, especially if you're like a member of the community that you're representing. It's like, I would rather, if my choices are like white guy who's really good at public speaking, or like, Chicano person who's like maybe less good at public speaking. If we're at the Chicano moratorium, I want to hear the Chicano person speaking. That's fine. But I will say, like, Tim was like the speaker. Like, he had a lot of great things to say, and he's just a very compelling speaker. But one of the things that he called out that I also noticed was like, there was the Chicano representation at the Chicano moratorium was lacking. Yes, there were Chicano people in the protest for sure, but they were a pretty small majority, or pretty small minority. It was mostly whites. And like, in some protests in Denver, I'm like, whatever, Denver's a pretty white city, but it's like, we got a lot of Chicano people in this town. Like, we got a lot of Chicano people in this town. So I don't really know what was up with that. I don't think it was the fault of the organizers. They certainly, like, I was kind of surprised and disappointed by the turnout, just because I felt like they did a really, really good job of promoting it well in advance. For weeks ahead of time, they had been,
yeah, it was out there for sure. It was out there. Yeah.
So it kind of bums me out. Like, it bums me out sometimes that like Denver doesn't show up for some of these like, like marginalized communities. Like, that was why it was important to me to go out to this particular protest, is because, I think that's one of the reasons that I do protest, is because I want to like show my support and solidarity with marginalized people. And I wish that you motherfuckers would come out for those protests the way that you come out for like fuck Trump protests. I'll say that. And then my other petty criticism is like about the chants. So I'm very picky about my protest chants. I've been to a lot of protests. I know them all. But I'm like, if you're gonna be, I think that you should probably think through a little bit like which chants you're gonna use, and like, do they apply to the topic of the protest that you're doing? And like, the person leading the chant should probably be somebody who is good at leading the chants. And I don't want to be a hater, because I know that it's hard, but like, dude was like, kind of, he would be like, from Palestine to Mexico, smash the US war machine. And it's like, bro, no, we're so close. We're getting like, we're missing parts of the chant. It's not rhyming. It's confusing. And then I also feel like we were throwing in a lot of shit that wasn't, just sort of like generic fuck Trump lines and stuff, where I was like, I thought like we do like Chicano power, like that one's great. I would like to see a little bit more thought go into the chants, and not just like, oh, we're just like kind of haphazardly reading them off of our phone. But again, I recognize I'm being a fucking hater. I don't even go to the protests, as everyone, will tell you. And yeah, but I thought at the end of the day, it was a good little group. I thought that the music was amazing. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, is somebody, shout out to the Black Bloc Antifa youth that was on the drum. Like, that shit was fucking clutch. There was one person that was on the drum the whole time, and then someone who had one of those little, like, I wish I knew what that instrument was called. It's a percussion instrument. But like, those two together, I swear to God, that just like helps the march so much when you have some fucking percussion to like keep the beat and keep people motivated. Loved that. Love Los Mocachetes. And love some of the signs I saw, and really, really loved Tim Hernandez's speech about like, where the fuck are the Chicanos though? And also, they're going to start doing like, basically one thing that we could all do is start doing ICE court watch. They're doing all kinds of fuck shit in immigration court and, snatching people up and such. So like, one thing you can do really for any court is just like show up there as an observer and hang out and take notes on what you see happening. It's kind of boring and tedious and mundane shit, but it really does help. When we have witnesses and we can kind of like look for patterns and stuff. So yeah, so that was, and so the whole thing lasted, I think I got there at 6:30 and I left around 9, and I was super fucking tired because that shit wears me out. But I would say it was definitely a successful protest. And my constructive criticisms aside, the people did a good job putting on. Obviously, a lot of work went into it. It was very safe, in terms of the, marshals and everything. And, definitely want to give credit where credit's due to the organizers there. But I wish that more of us came out for that kind of thing. Although I recognize, I'm not someone who comes out to like, and no, we can't all go out to everything. But yeah. So overall, I would say it was successful, and it was definitely good to, march with some new and old friends, and stand in solidarity with the Chicano movement. So that was cool. And then I think the next day they did another protest that was like early in the morning right outside that federal immigration courthouse as well.
I did see pictures of that.
Yes.
On the Reddit. I'm
not sure who organized that. But yeah, that is my take on that that action.
Nice. It's crazy that like protest season, such as it is basically almost over. Because I do feel like once like not only just like cool weather hits, but like it gets dark earlier, and like these are like real logistical things. Like I didn't come on Friday because I worked late, and I got home and like fucking it was 8:30 by the time. So I do always feel like those Friday night ones can be tricky to get people out to. It's like I've probably said this quote on this show before, but I think Oscar Wilde said, somebody like him said, the problem with socialism is that it takes up too many weekends.
It's so true. It's so true.
And yeah, I mean, it's because on one level I'm like, well, if you care enough about these issues, you should go. But at the same time, and probably even overriding that, like everybody has lives to live. And I don't mean like going to Top Golf. I mean like working and providing for yourself and your family. And that, probably certainly by design, is designed to, take all of your time and energy and fucking, mental capacity. So I mean, it's great that there were the people who were out there who were able to be out there. And I think that, anyone who is able to, show support and solidarity we do bash, I don't know if we bash them, but we have critiques of them as like effective movers of any kind of like material change. But I do think that there is a lot of value in showing up and we talk about it all the time, but like building community and making your presence in your voice felt. So I'm glad that some people were able to make it out to this one. We also had the next day the Melt the Ice camps, which I think, because this was, I'm pretty sure this is right, this was held at Coors Field.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool idea. I do really like the idea of, you know, making the Rockies feel bad, I guess, if you noticed. But like, I think it's cool to like not just because like people just drive by the Capitol and they see people out there with signs and like whatever the fuck. But like, if you're doing it in front of Coors or Mile High, or probably with even more leverage, Diana DeGette's office or Michael Bennett's office or wherever the fuck, I do like the idea of these kind of stationary targeted demonstrations that might catch people's attention in a way that other places might not. But I know that did happen yesterday. So
yeah, for sure. It's good to like branch out, you know, and make sure that, you know, people who don't make it downtown or don't make it to the Capitol are still seeing the protests, for sure. I actually I was on a date walking around the 16th Street Mall last night, and I saw that protest. They were marching down 16th Street. I think there were at least a few notes of dissent members, because I saw some people and heard some people playing instruments, and I thought about joining up with the protest, but I was on a first date and I didn't necessarily want to like blend those two things together, I guess, for a variety of reasons that I won't get into. So I did not say hi, but it looked like there were maybe 15 people at that point when I don't know like how many there were in like at Coors Field, but by the time they were like marching down 16th Street, I saw them by friend of the show, the Cheesecake Factory, is where they were. So yeah, but it looked, you know, it was a lively crowd, and you know, I mean, I think that's good, even if you just get, you know, 15 of your friends together, you play some music and you get on 16th Street and you know, let the tourists and the families know that we're out here protesting. I mean, I think that's awesome, and that was a grassroots, you know, there wasn't like a formal org really behind that, as far as I know. It was just you know, people from the Discord and the Denver protest community coming together. I believe they had another one scheduled today, but I think she said they were going to cancel it because because honestly, because a lot of people went on Friday night to the Chicano Moratorium, then they went again on Saturday for Melt the Ice, and then we have another one coming up tomorrow. So I think her thinking was like, maybe we'll just like take a rest day, which like it's important to take rest days, so we support that.
In notes of dissent, the actual friends of the pod, and they are, as far as I'm aware, a incorporated 501c3.
Oh yeah, they're a 501c3 now. That's right.
Yeah, which is really So actual friends of the pod, unlike the cowards, the Cheesecake Factory. I should go there once before actually talking shit.
I know, you talk a lot of shit about the Cheesecake Factory for someone who's never been to the fucking Cheesecake Factory, but
represents
into Applebee's.
Yeah, I do love me some Applebee's. No, it's all the same slop from the same trough. But so that was the Melt the Ice camps. By the time this episode is published, by almost all certainty, the Labor Day 5051 event will have happened at the Capitol. This one doesn't feel like it has as much wind behind it as like the other ones, like the Good Trouble one and whatever the fuck else. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see. But you know, people go out of town on Labor Day. People do whatever the fuck. So, but yeah, that one is coming up on Labor Day.
Yes, on Labor Day. So yeah, but we will perhaps talk about it next week. I don't know if Bug is going, but I'm not planning on going. I maxed out my whole my whole protest energy going to the Chicano moratorium. So, to be young again and full of energy and have cartilage in my knees, which I do not have. Is that it? Did we cover?
I think we got the big ones.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, as far as, I mean, like the standard, I don't know if if those takedowns of Fox and Tesla are still happening. I have no idea. So
yeah,
whatever.
they've been posting the subreddit, like their weekly schedule that they usually have at least one, like the overpass protest. They've had like one every day in different locations. And it looks like they usually get, like 10-ish, maybe 20-ish people out there for those. And those are ongoing. So, and we do, I feel like people, at least one person will usually post photos from those. Yeah. So they are happening. But I haven't been to any of them, so I don't have any news about them, I guess.
If you or someone who is involved in organizing any of those protests, let us know. And if you want to come on the podcast, also let us know, because I want to interview people. I think that would be cool.
We do want to interview people. It's going to happen one of these days. So yeah, if you want to come on and talk about the protests that you organize, hit the tip line.
Fuck yeah, dude.
We don't actually have a tip line yet, but we're
there's irons in the fire. We should get a Google phone number and get the fucking tip line up and live. But yeah, our main topic, I mean, like one thing that I think we're trying to do as this, as we kind of figure out what it is that we're actually fucking doing here is, talk more about like local news from the perspective that you might not get from other places. And, not that we fucking know anything, but we have our own beliefs and, some podcast chairs. So we're going to talk about it. God damn it. So we don't have like a main topic this week, but shit did happen in the last week that at a very minimum is worth talking about. I think the biggest thing in like local and state politics was probably this stupid special session of the legislature that has happened. And I think we talked about it in the episode that was supposed to be published last week that wasn't published last week because of, the fucking biology and the prejudice of others. But we have basically what happened at the special session this week is they were trying to do AI regulation to hold AI companies to some degree accountable if their software, discriminates against people or what. I don't care enough to read too deeply into it, but basically they were trying to put guardrails around AI. From like a consumer perspective.
Seems like a great thing that we should be doing and probably should have done sooner.
Yeah. There needs to be some kind of, and again, from a consumer advocacy perspective, is like, what if Ralph Nader was around for AI? Basically, is kind of how I feel about it. But it hasn't, because Polis, being the tech fucking douchebag that he is, already vetoed AI regulations earlier during the normal session in the spring. And he's the fucking tech's guy on the Hill. So he's not going to stand with the legislators who are trying to actually put some kind of handcuffs. No, handcuffs is the wrong word, but put some kind of, guidelines for AI so it is not just used to make bad people have more money. So it is used, ideally in some capacity for, kind of social benefits. So he being Polis, it sounds like that people in the legislature are basically like, we can't really do anything because if we do even do anything, he's just going to veto it. Like he vetoed the regulations in the spring. He vetoed the rent setting algorithm
God,
or
that
ban.
really pissed me off, because that would have that shit sucks. The rent setting algorithm shit is like ruining all renters' lives across this fucking country, and that shit fuck you, Jared Polis. It's one of those things that's like, you know what? It really would not have hurt the fucking predatory landlord class much at all, and it would have been a huge boon to renters. But
can't have that shit.
No, Jared Polis is why we can't have nice things. I'm so sick of his stupid bullshit.
No, it sucks. And this is a quote from State Rep Javier Mabry, who is by all accounts like he's a real one. He said, I believe the governor's office and the influence that tech industry has over the governor's office is a huge problem, particularly when our constituents are rightfully and incredibly concerned about the influence of AI. Which, I mean, yeah, that is pretty much what we're saying here, is that Polis is a fake fucking Democrat. Or you know what? He's a real Democrat.
Yeah, he's a real
just
Democrat.
Suck. Yeah, he is. He is a Democrat.
He's like a fake progressive. He talked the big game when he got elected, but we'll say this every week. He's a fucking rich guy, and he protects the interests of other rich guys, and he'll never. God. Yeah, he's the worst.
No, it's like you said on the last episode, like the rich have fucking class solidarity.
They sure do.
More or less because they can afford to. And he said some bullshit about like, and you always hear this whenever any industry or any business consortium is threatened with like even the most like small bore limp dick, like, can you please not be completely evil, like even like 5%, they just holler and scream and rend their fucking garments about like this is going to kill innovation and this is going to stifle the growth, is what you hear from them fucking constantly. And this Polis is fucking echoing this. He said something like Colorado's want to be on the Colorado's. There's only one. Coloradans want to be on the cutting edge of adapting different technologies. I don't want to be on the cutting edge of AI. I want less AI slop. But anyways, yes. Well, and even if it's a false choice that they're trying to, even if you do want that, like putting regulations on AI doesn't mean that you will no longer be on the cutting edge.
Right.
Like it's complete Chamber of Commerce brained, some of the most evil people on earth bullshit.
Totally.
And fucking, I don't know. I haven't ridden in an Uber in a long time, thank God. But apparently Uber was doing this thing where when you open up their app or when you go to get a ride, they have like a link to like sign this petition against legislation, which would make Uber in this case have more stringent reporting about sexual assaults that happen in their cars or something to that effect. They did the same thing in Minnesota, where Minnesota was trying to raise the minimum wage. Uber was like, can't have that shit. Whenever you want to get a ride share, here's this pop-up about why to not raise the minimum wage, or in our case, why to not have further regulations on rideshare companies or companies that use AI like Uber.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like, come on. Like, it's a huge burden on your business to fucking try to prevent sexual assault on your customers and to have reporting requirements. Like, for the love of God, come on. I just can't. It's like, this is an unserious country where corporations are fucking people, and somehow the right of Uber to increase their profit share is more important than like, and this is even all it's saying is like having reporting requirements for sexual assault so that we can even understand what's happening with the problem. And they're like, no, we can't do that. Like, these corporations, that's such bullshit. Is that something the special session is considering, or is that like a separate thing with the petition stuff?
First of all, how dare you ask me follow-up questions on things I don't know?
Sorry.
I think it was something that was, and there's a legislator in I should get her fucking name, but yeah, she introduced this because she herself was the victim of sexual assault in a ride share.
Dude.
I'm pretty sure we'll link to the article and anyone who cares enough can read it.
Okay, cool.
But no, yeah, it's like you said. I mean, like it's just fucking tech companies swinging their fucking dicks around and not having even the slightest, most fucking modicum sense of regulation or any sense of like government being able to do anything against these companies, and they are completely at their beck and call. And it's disgusting. It's unfortunate, but unsurprising
No,
state
it's
of
like
affairs.
no accountability. I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard like
that's
this, like I think it was like last week or something. Like basically ChatGPT like kind of enabled the suicide of
I saw
a
something about
guy.
that. Yeah,
And I don't know a ton of details about it, but I did read some of the transcript and it's like, yeah, that's the kind of thing where, yeah, we need the government to step in and say, like, you need to train your AI in such a way that it's not actively encouraging people to kill themselves and
so this
telling
is
them not to tell their families about their suicidal thoughts. Like that's fucking wild. We cannot stand for this as a society. It's not like I don't think this shit is benefiting us in any measurable way. But like even if it is, it's not
yeah.
worth that kind of shit. It's like we can't just let we can't we that down with the clankers, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I know somebody in our community was trying to organize an anti-clanker protest at some point.
Yeah.
So
I
fuck the
yeah.
clunkers.
I'm gonna put this out there. I am actually pretty pro AI. I know.
How
Well,
dare
we
you?
can do a whole thing, but I completely agree that it needs to be disciplined and monitored and oriented towards not having people kill themselves or stealing jobs from people who do professional writing as living or whatever, or even worse, allowing like Palantir, the IDF, to kill people faster. That's what it cannot be, and that's why there needs to be some government fucking oversight and public accountability for companies like this. And that's exactly what it sounds like this AI regulations was trying to do, where if a company like ChatGPT, like their software does something like that, they could be held accountable, which is what the whole fucking purpose of having a fucking government is and should be. I just want to say, Jenny Wilford is the name of the state rep who was sponsoring a bill to require more safety measures of ride sharing apps. Just want to shout her out.
Well, thanks for that,
so,
Jenny. Sorry Uber sucks so hard.
yeah, and that our governor is Jared Polis, and he sucks so hard too. Speaking of, it was also this week that your boy was doing all the budget cuts, which, you know what, that's it. I get it. It's because of the stupid fucking austerity bill. It's because of the big beautiful bill. That's fucking fine. Like I get that. But the things that basically he chose to cut, and the things that I am imagining state governments across the country are choosing to cut, are not things like the police budget. They're not even considering raising taxes. And I'm sure there's intricacies of this. I don't give a shit. What they're doing is halting pay increases to healthcare providers that serve low-income Coloradans. They're taking $12 million in canceled higher education contracts. They're taking $5 million from the Department of Public Health and the Environment. Taking money from a voter-approved housing fund. So,
voter-approved housing fund. I was wondering about that because I was like, I think if I understand correctly, and I may not, but what I think happened is that we all voted on, like, yes, let's do this tax increase so that we can, like, build affordable housing in the state. And so they are doing the taxes. And then now they're just like, oh, well, we're just going to take that money that that voters voted for affordable housing. We're not going to spend it on affordable housing, and we're going to, like, throw it into the general fund. I think that's what they were saying. And like, fuck you. Are you kidding me? Like, that is gonna turn me into a libertarian, dude. I swear to God. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, no, we didn't approve of that because it's like, where the fucking general fund goes? Policing, prisons. Like, that's where that shit's gonna go. We approved it for affordable housing. Like, I didn't vote to raise taxes so that you could just give more to the fucking cops. Like, Jesus Christ, they should not be able to do that. We need affordable housing. That one just really pisses me off, as does the cut to it was like a $2.5 million cut to Medicaid dental. Well, I'm on Medicaid, and I swear to God, the absolute irony, I flossed one of my fillings out
That's so fucked, dude. Oh my God.
hours after Jared Polis announces cuts to the Medicaid dental program. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know, like, when things take effect. I'm sure the whole program's more than 2.5 million, so I'll probably be able to get my filling fixed and I'll be fine. But fuck you, dude. Like, people need teeth. People people need dental care.
Dude.
It's crazy. I just
I don't know how we have, as a society, have allowed our teeth to rot out of our heads because it's too expensive. Like, it's absolutely insane that people are not just fucking burning down fucking dental insurance office or health insurance office every day because, yeah, I mean, I say this as someone, I'm currently missing a tooth and have another fake tooth, and we're just like, oh yeah, but whatever, like, just teeth are expensive and dental insurance is a joke in this fucking country, and we're gonna not allow people to take care of their teeth because it's prohibitively expensive, and everyone's just fucking fine with that.
Right.
And it drives me fucking crazy.
And when he did these cuts, it's like he acts like, well, I'm really proud to say that we didn't cut anything from public safety. So just for anybody who is not aware, public safety is a euphemism for the fucking cops. So that means no cuts to prisons. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they did cut prison, but I doubt it. That's one of the things that they always seem to have money for. No cuts to the Colorado State Patrol. It's the same shit as they do the city of Denver, where all of these, services that actually benefit constituents get cut, and the police get no cuts. And like, also, you mentioned, but it's like, raise fucking taxes. We have some of the lowest property taxes in this goddamn country. Raise property taxes. And if you're a homeowner and you want to cry about it, cry fucking harder, bitch. I'm sorry. I rent. I'm going to be renting for the rest of my life. I understand that, like, a property tax increase, can be hard for homeowners, but like, look, guys, the property taxes have been too low, or like, there's all kinds of creative shit that they could do. Like, anybody who owns more than one house, yeah, you should be getting taxed out the ass for your additional properties because you don't need them, and like, there's just so many, like, tax rich people. If you don't have enough money in the budget, tax rich people. It's Jared Polis will literally never do that. He will let all of our teeths, all of our twofers are going to just rot out of our fucking heads before he will, make rich people pay their fair share. And we're all supposed to act like he's doing us a fucking favor. It's disgusting. I'm so like, oh, I didn't cut public safety. Yay for me. Fuck you.
No. Well, I think this kind of gets to the issue, kind of like part of the reason why I kind of have the beliefs that I have, and I imagine you do as well. Like, you look around and it's like, there's enough wealth produced by this city and by this state and by this stupid fucking country to provide everyone in it a baseline level of comfort and security and human dignity. And every day we wake up and choose to not do that.
Yep.
And that's kind of it. That's kind of like more or less what I consider to be like the fundamental clash of material interests in this society, is that there's, like you were saying, you can get the money to give I'm not even like fully going like full like luxury gay space communism, whatever that meme from 2018 was. Like, we can give everybody healthcare and dental care and childcare and education, and all that would mean really is that other people don't have 7 fucking houses.
Right. Like, you
Maybe
have to have 5
3
houses.
Yeah.
Instead of 7. Or you can't, like, you can't redo the fucking bathroom in your vacation house this year because you had to pay a higher tax bill. Too fucking bad, dude. Like, that shit's, it truly is, and I think a lot of people don't even realize like how rich people live and the type of shit that they spend money on, and
it's repulsive.
And how little it's like we're asking them, to like
crumbs. We're asking them for fucking
literal
crumbs.
Like, and it's like, could you live a slightly less luxurious lifestyle? Could you have one fewer house? Could you not buy a yacht? Whatever. And they're like, no, that's communism. Like, I mean, it's
we're begging them not to be Baron Harkonnen from Dune, and they're like, we're gonna keep bathing in oil and flying on the ceiling. And it's to this point, this just came up this week, that the most expensive house in the country, I guess property in the country, is for sale in a little town called Aspen.
Never heard of it. Where's that?
Never heard of it. Yeah, I don't know, it sounds bad. $300 million property is for sale. $300 million.
That is right. Like, think about.
It's a crime against God.
Think about that. I mean, how 300 million. What can you even say? And Aspen is all fucking second homes and third homes. And it's like, that's the ultra rich of this country love to fucking come hang out in Aspen. Tax those motherfuckers on their goddamn vacation houses. Tax the shit out of them. Oh, then they're going to leave. No, they're not going to fucking leave. And if they do, great. More houses for us. Like,
let them fucking leave.
Let them fucking leave. I'm calling their bluff. They're not going to fucking leave because they like, they're not going to leave Aspen for a different place, all right? They're going to suck it up and fucking pay their taxes because they have the money to do so.
Well, and that speaks like this kind of like fundamental myth is that they, meaning people who fucking have second and third homes in Aspen and who are looking at, $300 million houses, they want you to think that we need them, and we do not need them. They don't do anything. No. They do not do anything. They are literally a parasitic class hoovering up the wealth and the productive capacity of the people in this city, in this state, and in this country. And not only do we not need them, if we do not get rid of them, we will all continue to suffer.
Yes, all of our teeth are going to fucking fall out.
You're going to fall out of our heads.
Fall right out of our fucking heads. Yeah. Grim times ahead. And it's like, it's only gonna, with these cuts, it's only more cuts and more austerity from here. It's unfortunately, I think, and
austerity will continue until morale improves.
Right,
is more or less what we're going to be doing.
Pretty much. So fuck you, Jared Polis. Yet again, another week of the Denver Protest Podcast. Another fuck you to Jared Polis, the fucking worst.
Yeah, he had this really fucking just Democrat brained thing where he was going to send pens to the Republican congressional representatives from Colorado as a way of like blaming them for having passed the like federal I'm not calling it that, the federal austerity bill. And apparently it's a tradition that like whoever is responsible for a piece of legislation gets the pen that was used. So Polis and his team of fucking douchebags was like, we'll send them the pens because it's their fault.
Well, that'll show them.
Yeah,
God, that is effective Democrat governance bullshit. Like, wow, you really told them, Polis. Love
and
that.
Apparently there's a House representative named Jeff Crank. Jeff.
All right, Jeff.
He said that Polis and the state Democratic legislature need to get serious about spending. Maybe if they didn't spend so much on their woke agenda and taking care of illegal immigrants, they wouldn't be in such a bind. I look forward to returning the pen back to sender. You should both kill yourselves.
Yeah, how about that? Like, literally,
how about, did you ever consider that?
You should go ask ChatGPT if you should kill yourself.
And it's like, I wish that the state Democrats were spending on what this guy thinks is their woke agenda.
Literally, if we had even 25% of that woke agenda, we'd be in such good shape.
Yeah, but here we are.
We are.
So that's the news from Capitol Hill. We also had, these are very unfortunate things, but a man in Castle Rock has been detained by ICE for the past 3 weeks because he went to renew his immigration papers. And in the process of doing that, I guess ICE detained him because of a marijuana charge that he had when he was a teenager.
A fucking weed. Like, bro.
I know. Of all the things. And not only that, he'd been doing this like annually since he moved here, which I don't fucking know, but he has like 2 kids who are like in middle school, so a long time. Also, I'm sure anyone who's listening to this in their heads like has a picture of this person. This guy's from the UK. So
they're going after whites.
They're going after.
Is it a white UK person? Because some.
Yes. Okay. Fair shout. Yes. No, it's from the UK. And so, listen, I'm no friend of the English, but this is fucked up. And yeah, just like your skin color is not going to save you once they really start rounding people up.
Right. Or like your nationality. It's like, I guarantee you when people are talking about illegal immigrants, they're not thinking about, some British guy, criminal illegal immigrants is like, yeah, here's a criminal illegal immigrant. It's some fucking white British guy that got a weed charge 20 years ago. Like, we're going to lock that dude up in a fucking ICE facility. Like, we shouldn't be locking anybody up in those facilities. But it's just this idea that like, oh, it's only going to be certain demographics. There's only going to be criminals. Like, no, but it's going to be everybody. So...
anyone they could reasonably, his name is Dale Heath, so shout out to him. I truly hope that he and his family are doing okay during this. Anyone who was detained by ICE, obviously, I hope they're doing okay.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. The conditions are really bad in those facilities, and hopefully he gets out and everybody gets out. And anybody involved in this is tried for war crimes at The Hague. We can only fucking hope. Hold out hope for that one. And also, this is like a very recently developing story, but I do think it's at least worth talking about. A man was shot and killed. I think the official term is officer-involved shooting by the Aurora Police Department. By the APD, Aurora Police Department, last night during an attempt at a traffic stop. And it doesn't sound like there's a lot of hard and fast like details about this. All that I could glean from the article in the Denver Post was that the officer spotted a gun on the ground and believed the suspect was walking towards it. The suspect then began walking towards the officer with an aggressive posture. Oh my God.
And the officer did not immediately render medical aid, and the man died from injuries on the scene. So, again, this happened like a matter of hours ago.
He wasn't even holding the gun. Okay, again, who knows? Maybe different information will come out. But like, this is how thirsty cops are, especially APD, fucking Colorado drunk driving champs. This is how thirsty these motherfuckers are to shoot and kill you at a traffic stop. You said he was walking towards the gun. Like, you don't even have a gun in your hand. Again, I ask, why can you not incapacitate people? If he didn't even have the gun in his hand, you can't tase him. If you gotta shoot him, you can't shoot him in the leg or something. Like, you're gonna fucking just murder this dude over a traffic stop and then not even fucking render first aid. Like, fuck the police, dude. Fuck the police. Fuck them and their goddamn just insatiable thirst for murder. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and it does sound like maybe there was like a physical scuffle, or the suspect was I don't know. I don't really. That's kind of, I don't want to say it's immaterial, but like the thing that jumped out to me is that even in the immediate aftermath of this, that they're saying that he did not immediately render medical aid, which I'd like for them to definitively say like that did not happen. I think is interesting. But I'm sure there's going to be more to come about that. And I listen, I'm not certainly in the business of fucking carrying water for the Aurora Police Department. Like that's fucking, they have long since ceded the right to have the benefit of the doubt in effectively any situation. But I'm sure more will be revealed about that.
Yeah. I just never, these people are such whiny little fucking babies. And if cops in other countries can manage to like fine, if the dude is like has a gun in his hands, like actively shooting at you, fine. But it's like, why are there so many instances where they cannot de-escalate or they cannot, immobilize someone without fucking murdering them. I just don't fucking, and if you're that scared, then don't be a fucking cop. Plenty of other people do really dangerous and scary jobs, and they don't, shoot people all the time at it. So yeah, well, I'm sure as more info comes out, we will have, more to say on this case. But sincere condolences to that man's family.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And fuck the police.
And we had those were kind of the big things that happened. I don't know. These are the things that happened in the week. We're basically doing a news podcast now, which I am all for. We also had fucking Polis and Mike Johnston both did AMAs on the main Denver Reddit. I didn't look at them. I'm just kind of heard that they sucked, which again, fucking color me shocked. But I don't know. Did you see any of the shit that they were doing?
Mostly, I was pissed because I'm banned from r/Denver, so I couldn't play it. And I'm like, well, I don't even want to look at it if you guys aren't even going to let me play in your sandbox. I'm just going to go home. But I did hear somebody had asked, one of the questions from Mike Johnson was like, what are you going to do to like protect us from Trump mobilizing the National Guard? Like if Trump decides to like roll the National Guard into our city the way that he has done in DC and LA and Chicago, like what are you going to do to protect us? Which I think was a very, important question. And Mike Johnson was gave like your standard politician answer, which was like, yes, that is concerning. And that is a problem that we are concerned about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike Johnson. That makes us feel so much better. And I know I didn't look at the rest, and I do know that somebody from our community asked Jared Polis to condemn the genocide in Palestine and was banned from r/Denver, which tracks, which is very in keeping with their kind of, thinly veiled Zionist moderation practices. But, Jared Polis is a very unapologetic Zionist, as far as I'm aware. So no surprise there on either account. But no, I don't think anything groundbreaking came out of those AMAs. These people are fucking useless. They're not going to save us from fascism. They're going to, either collaborate with the fascists or, I believe you mentioned earlier, I don't know if, like before we started recording, just that like Polis like reaffirmed his like love for RFK Jr., which is like, bro.
Yeah, it's just like he's a hard guy to love, RFK. Like,
right. I think that's where you're gonna put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, why would you even want it? Like, even just from like a calculated political move, like why would you want to, bind yourself to the raw milk, put everyone who is on Adderall in Camp Sky?
Right. Exactly.
Doesn't seem like a savvy political move.
It's like, bizarre. I don't know what is happening there, but yeah, I don't know. If you want to go check out those AMAs on Reddit, if you want to like be mad and get yourself worked up into a tizzy, it's probably a great way to do it.
Well, and it's like, just maybe one day we'll talk about like the fucking main Denver sump or whatever, but like, why does first of all, I don't understand why city-specific subreddits are just filled with every hall monitor in RA who wants to scream at people. Like, I don't.
HOA brains.
It's the most HOA brain shit.
Next door ass.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, why do you guys have such a firm opinion about the state of Israel? Like, it's just whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, and they're all most of the city specific subreddits are just like hella fucking reactionary, hippie ass shit. And I mean, there's the reasonable explanation for that is that that's just like how Reddit works, is like, when those people kind of got in on the ground floor, like the mod teams of those subreddits. My tinfoil hat take is that there was a deliberate push to get people with a specific agenda in mod positions in some of those the bigger city subreddits to try to silence some dissent. So and for those who don't know, that is actually why the Denver protest subreddit exists, is because during 2020 during the George Floyd protests, our Denver mod team was deleting a lot of the posts about the protests, and so Denver protests standalone subreddit was created to get around that. So yeah, they're still on the same damn bullshit. Although they did, it seems like they're trying to make some changes to their moderation policies and like be less shitty. So we'll see how it goes, but I wouldn't know because I'm banned. So it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we want to talk about the wolves.
The wolves are coming. I'm
I'm aggressively pro wolf.
I'm so fucking pro wolf, dude. And again, like I can hear like the ranchers in Summit County like taking a fucking lip of Copenhagen out and being like, those fucking what word they would use to describe us down in Denver. They don't have to deal with the wolves. They're pro wolf. They never have to see the wolves. Like they're gonna eat my cows. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're going to get paid for any cows that they eat. You have enough cows. The wolves were here first. And also, like, the wolves are going to be I'm not a fucking environmental scientist, but they're going to be good for the fucking ecosystem. And it's going to, the pro wolf. We are a pro wolf podcast.
We are a pro wolf podcast out here. No, so I've gotten into it on, twitter.com, aka X the Everything app. I have gotten into it with people about the wolves in particular. And they're like in them making that exact same argument about like, oh, well, you live in Denver and like you don't have to see them. And I'm like, my guy, do you understand that if I ever saw like a wolf near my community garden, I would drop to my knees and weep tears of joy? Like, do you understand how fucking stoked I would be if I got to like see a wolf running around? Like, this is not the strategy you should take for arguing with me, because like I'm the type of person that like wants to like go to Yellowstone just so I can see them running around in the wild. So like and yes, it's good to have apex predators in the ecosystem. As far as I'm concerned, bring that back to fucking grizzly bears too, and keep your cats indoors.
No,
that's basically how I feel about that.
And my thing is like, I've never been a rancher. I probably will never be a rancher, and I have class solidarity with them. I don't want their fucking whatever. Like, mostly, I think I don't know enough about the ranching industry. I'm sure a lot of them do a lot of bad shit, but it's like, it's not going to be like a Disney cartoon where there's a pack of wolves that eats all of your cattle and leaves skeletons like behind a dust cloud. Like, you're going to be compensated for any livestock you lose. You're going to be fine. The lack of wolves in Colorado should fucking terrify people, because we don't have a fucking right as a society. It's also not like good societal practice to take like an Edenic wilderness and just fucking rip its face off and make it this scarred industrial hellscape. Like, you need to be able to live in some kind of harmony with your natural ecosystem, and part of that, as you said, is having fucking apex predators. Like, yes, they're going to manage diseases that would kill your stupid fucking cattle because there's too many fucking elk. Look, I'm not going to pretend to know, but all I know this is that we're pro wolf. I just think it's so goddamn funny that this is one of the most hotly contested political issues in Colorado. Like, I remember very specifically during the 2020 election watching like the wolf fucking question come in, and it was like 50.1 to 49.9 for the entire night.
Yes. No, I know it passed very, very narrowly. And there was still some, we had another, on our most recent election, it was like the mountain lion hunting ban, which I ended up voting yes on, mainly because the way that people hunt mountain lions, like the shit that's allowed here, where they use like these packs of dogs and stuff, is like, to me, that's really gross. And it's not that I'm not opposed to hunting, but like,
I am opposed to hunting, I'll say that.
But yeah, well, you're also a vegetarian, so like I feel like I think my opinion is, if you eat meat, then you don't get to like tell people that they can't go out and kill animals. I think if you don't eat meat, then it's a different conversation. But it would be hypocritical of me to be like going to the grocery store and buying a
Yeah,
cow
no,
and
sure,
then
sure.
telling people that they can't kill, but I think the way that we do it, I mean, that's a whole other can of worms, but that was definitely one that, we got into, right. We get all pissy about that. That is a very hotly contested ballot issue for us here in Colorado. And I'm sure there's lots of states where they're like, what the fuck are those weird, silly gun-toting cowboys doing out there in that flyover state, fighting about
No,
wolves and
seriously, it's
mountain
like
lions.
those fucking rednecks. Their most salient political issue is how many mountain lions can we kill?
Right.
Like that's like,
and the manner in which we can kill them. It's important, damn it. I don't expect you fucking New Yorkers to understand that, but it's important, damn it.
It really is coastal elitism to not have to worry about the wolf question.
Right. We care about the wolves. I'm pro wolf, and I I don't want ranchers to like lose their livelihood, but I do also feel like there's something to be said for like if you're choosing to like raise cattle.
What are you doing there? You're in the fucking mountains.
You're in the fucking mountains. Like, it's just part of the deal. It's like, it's not the same, but it's like in my garden, I have a community garden. It's an organic garden. Sometimes there are shitty little mice that come through and take like 2 bites out of every cucumber and then leave. Do I like that? No, I don't like that. It fucking pisses me off. Just eat the whole cucumber and stop fucking, wasting all of them with your like gross mice teeth. But I recognize that like, that's just sort of the price that I pay for gardening, is that like there is wildlife out there. There are little mice, there are raccoons, there are other animals, and like that's sometimes you just got to charge the game. And I get it, no, it's not my livelihood, but like I just think it's the wrong fucking mentality to be like, we should kill off all of these animals because they're like pissing me off and upsetting my livelihood. Like I just will never ever support that. And if it means that like, beef gets more expensive and that we have to eat less beef, like, oh well, oh well.
Well, yeah. Well, and it's just like it goes back to the thing we were talking about like how the false choice that is being posed by this question, like with the AI companies being like, if you don't let us be sued when our products kill people, there will never be innovation in Colorado again. It's like these ranchers being like, if you let there be wolves, there won't be beef in stores. It's like, no, motherfucker, there's going to be like 12 wolves in the entire state. They're going to kill some calves. You're going to be reimbursed by the state for it, and you're going to be fine.
Right. And we're still going to be able to, and it wouldn't frankly kill us to eat a little bit less beef in this country. So
probably
whatever.
Eat less beef. I do want to say, there was a wolf down in Rio Blanco County, which is down by New Mexico. I didn't know where that was. No shouts, whatever. Apparently, it killed some livestock, and the CPW said that they're suspending attempts to kill the wolf because, quote, they could not find it. Shout out to that wolf.
Woo! All the Native Americans are like, yep. I bet you can't, and we're not going to tell you how. Like, yeah, you damn sure can't find that wolf, and we hope you never do. Yeah. Uncritical support to that wolf. I hope, I hope that was a tasty calf, and may you live a long and prosperous life, sir or madam. Shout out to you.
Shout out to the wolves. And like, I'm someone, I do believe that like, that human beings are the most important species. Like I am kind of a speciesist. I do think that. No, I do think that. But I also think that it's incredibly arrogant and incredibly short-sighted and stupid to just think that you can pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Like we as a society, as a species, have a responsibility to steward and to shepherd the living world. And also I think it's less like on an ethical level, I absolutely do think that, but also on like a functional and practical level, like I don't know, like you need to operate in balance with these things. You can't just go around dumping lead into rivers because that is going to, A, it's ethically bad, but B, it's going to be bad for your stupid fucking business.
It's short-sighted. It's like we all have to live here. We have to keep living here. So like, whether you agree that it's ethically wrong or not, like, we shouldn't be like poisoning our own environment. That's why I don't think that we're the most important species, because we're the only dumbass species that, like, destroys our own habitat and, whatever. But it's a topic for another time. Yeah. Do we have more news?
No, I think that's pretty much the news. Before we started recording, Rudy Giuliani is apparently in the hospital because of a car crash. Critical support to the car.
Thoughts and prayers derogatory. Thoughts and prayers derogatory. Actually, that is probably a good sponsor for this week. Is this episode of the Denver Protest Podcast is brought to you by the car that hit Rudy Giuliani. The car that hit Rudy Giuliani. Uncritical support to you, and hopefully he dies.
Available at your dealership now. Yeah. What do we got coming up? We mentioned the Labor Day thing that's happening after this podcast will have been fucking published, whatever. We have the Jeanette Visguera vigil again after this episode will have been published. And also a little bit farther down the horizon, a walkout is scheduled for the 16th. We'll talk more about that in next week's episode, but it seems like there's a light week coming up. So
yeah. And the 16th, for those who don't know, is Mexican Independence Day. It's actual Mexican Independence Day. It's Cinco de Mayo, not Mexican Independence Day. It's actually September 16th. So like actual Mexicans don't care at all about Cinco de Mayo. It's like, that's like a Mexican American type holiday. But September 16th is the one that they do actually celebrate. So we will have more details for you on that as the date gets closer and we get more details.
Hell yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Since it is Labor Day, I'm going to go back to my, traditional spiritual celebrations of getting drunk and listening to Pete Seeger. So
okay.
That's what's on the agenda for me.
I support
Solidarity
that. I'm going to get high and listen to Truanon. So
hell yeah. I love that.
So, yeah.
All right.
With that,
have a good week, everyone.
Bye-bye.